Well, hello everybody. This video is going to be about, are you a ghetto thug? You act like a thug. I thought she was ghetto. Oh, she always act tough. Oh, she got such a heavy accent that she just acts with this ghetto mentality or this thug mentality. Now, I just want to clear it up because it's not who I am, but a lot of people can assume. And I really want to bring insight of pretty much just where I'm from. I don't know how many people know where I'm from, but yes, if you guys, for everybody that's been keeping up with me, I'm from Baltimore. And people that do know about, just the streets of Baltimore, Maryland, that's a tough place to live and not pick up, some of the characteristics of being there. And the reason why I say that is because living in Baltimore is known for a lot of crime. It's known for you have to always be on your P's and Q's out there because it's either people selling drugs, killing, robbing, stealing, helicopters everywhere, police cars, raiding people's houses. Like, it's always something to where that's why they have a nickname for Baltimore, and it's pretty much be more careful. Because when you go there, you definitely better be more careful, or you just never know what can happen to you, and that's real talk. And it's just that, I grew up in Baltimore all my life. I really didn't start leaving my hometown until I was in my 20s. So obviously, where I'm from, my home is embedded in me. But, I've said this before, just because you are from where you're from, don't mean you have to be that. You can make things different by doing things like going to college, finishing school, just bettering yourself. But a lot of times, even though you do those things to better yourself and renew your mind, it's still remnants and it's still pieces of who you are from just what you was raised in or around or with. So, that being said, I can understand why people would say that, because like I said, I always evaluate myself as far as my content on this channel, because I want to make sure that, first of all, reputation means everything. So I do my best to make sure that I'm not saying something that can have me looking bad, or I'm not doing something that's having me looking bad. And I'm never going to be perfect, so I'm still going to make mistakes to where, my content, the videos might not be that good with the pictures, or I might mess around and say something that y'all be like, did she really just say that? Because at the end of the day, I can't stop being myself. So my thing is, it's really called keeping it 100 experiences for a reason, because in my sense of that meaning for me is to truly be myself. Like, I don't want to be something that I'm not, but in a respectful way. So like I said, I always mention this in a lot of past videos, that a lot of my weaknesses is cursing. I curse a lot sometimes. Mainly I curse in anger. If y'all notice, especially before I got back on the road, when I was doing a lot of stuff that was at home, y'all really didn't see a lot of cuss words fly out. If you really pay attention to these videos, you notice that my sailor mouth don't start being activated until I start dealing with this nonsense of it is just trucking. KB Smooth says that, check out KB's channel, KB Smooth. But yeah, trucking can really bring anger out sometimes if you just got a little bit anger in you, or if you just kind of a low non-tolerant type person. And I am a low non-tolerant person. But just to answer the question, are you ghetto, or are you thugging? What does thugging really mean? And people can have so many different meanings to that in the urban dictionary, to where I know Tupac had made it saying it's the hate you give. So the hate you give can come from a lot of things. And for people that never grew up in the hood, it's easy for you guys to look down on somebody that might have to grow up in the hood, or it's easy for you to look down for somebody to have a survival mentality because they had to pretty much grow up with the war on the streets. Because a lot of times when you are from these hoods, and Baltimore, Maryland is not the only hood that is tough to live in, because you got Houston, Texas, you got freaking Atlanta, Georgia, you got dang Chicago, Illinois, you got Washington, D.C., you got Connecticut, you got Los Angeles, California, LA. I mean, you got all them hoods and stuff. You got PA, Pennsylvania. Shoot, you got dang Norfolk, Virginia. You got so many hoods that, but I've done my research to see, just the ranking. And it really saddens me that Baltimore ranked number 2. They ranked number 2 for the highest crime city to live in. I think St. Louis, if I'm not mistaken, St. Louis ranked number 1. St. Louis, they really out there killing people, slaying people down. So basically, when you live in these places, a lot of the taunt is like being in the military, but it can be in a ghetto fashion because it's just no humane way of surviving the war on the streets. One day you might wake up and your brother might get shot and now your brother's gone. Or you might wake up and you sitting on your porch minding your own business, and before you know, a drive-by shooting happens, and then you jumping for cover because you don't know where this drive-by shooting came from. I mean, stuff is really wicked in these ghettos, but that doesn't take away from who somebody is. If anything, I feel like that adds to who somebody is, because if they were able to live in those environments and make it out of that environment into something better, to where either they no longer live in that environment, they even managed to do better and climb the success ladder of status. They managed to get a nice home. They managed to get a nice car. They managed to be a good parent to their kids, unlike some deadbeat fathers and even deadbeat mothers. I mean, it's so much stuff. But man, I know when I lived in Baltimore, just as living there, I was always so used to helicopter sounds or police siren sounds. I mean, when you live in like the heart of Baltimore, whether it's West Baltimore or the east side is terrible. They have gangs and stuff over there. I mean, it really just go up and down, but I think the east got west side of Baltimore beat. But it's a strip on Park Heights, which is considered the west side, and man, that strip alone is pretty bad as far as murder, prostitution, drug dealers, abandoned houses. It's a lot, and I really hope that one day they could clean up the city of Baltimore, because Baltimore has a lot of potential, but people has been taken down so much by poverty there, and that's why they do what they do. If you really think about the conspiracy theorists of hoods, you just know that it was planned out. Like, I don't know how many people know history and stuff, but you had the Black Panther that was started by Huey Newton, and I mean the Black Panther was a movement to build the black community, and it was almost working to where he almost had the black community to where they were starting to be educated. They were starting to stick together. They were starting to do things to where we wasn't this ignorant, thugging type of mentality. But then what happened was, because Huey Newton went into it with another guy, but I forgot his name, and it happened to where the government or the police, the police had made the guy he went into it with an informant, to where the guy, his partner, turned on him. So when he turned on him in the sense to where the police had made that guy sell drugs. Like, he turned him into peddling drugs. So that was the beginning of the project. That's why you got the projects in hoods. That's why you got what they call the trap. Like, I'm trapping, because if you really think about it, it is a trap. And sometimes a lot of people don't make it out. Some people be happy if they make it to age 20. Because, a lot of kids is dying before they even hit age 20. Some people be amazed that they make it to age 50. You know how easy in these poverty-stricken neighborhoods, how easy it is to walk out and get shot, and you just never knew that it was coming. You might not even have to be living that lifestyle. That just might be where you live, and you have to live there because you don't have no money to escape or to leave. So you just got to deal with the surroundings and do your best to just, keep your P's and Q's. And it's terrible for single moms that is stuck to raise, because a lot of times in those neighborhoods, the majority guys are not being there for their kids. So most of the time you have it to where a lot of single mothers are stuck raising kids by themselves. And that's why all the welfare, the food stamps, the, WIC, the housing, I mean, it's a trap. It's a trap. And that's why I ran from it. I almost got swept into the trap. Trust and believe that. And I'm so grateful. That's why I'm able to give all the testimonial videos as far as motivation, inspiration. That's why I'm so passionate about inspiring and loving people, because I come from a place where it's not much love. It's more hate and killing than anything. So that's why I say be more than where you from, because I am claiming and I know without a shadow of a doubt that I am more than where I'm from. Grant, it might come out in the sense to where what y'all calling ghetto or y'all calling thugging is more of a mentality to where I know the world is not a pretty place. So it's more of a survival technique, and I even got it on my arm. And this is not, some people do tattoos just for the style of it, or they do tattoos just because it's cute. But a lot of my tattoos have a reason behind it. And I got this because of everything that I've just had to endure through my life. And in my head, I'm thinking survive, because it's very easy to not survive or lose somebody close to you or lose you or this and that. That's why I left the city of Baltimore and I moved to North Carolina. Even though North Carolina got its ghettos too, Charlotte, to be honest, Charlotte ain't really that like as far as nice as far as crime, but of course it's not as bad as Baltimore. But Charlotte is starting to get up in crime rate too, as y'all see with that college shooting with UNCC. So that's sad. But Baltimore is terrible, man. It is really bad. If it ain't from people overdosing to people catching AIDS because of the high prostitution rate, the damn city got nothing but abandoned houses that nobody is seeming to do nothing with. They gotta clean our city up, man. And if any of you are from Baltimore, make a change. Make a change. Pick up that trash that's in the streets or on your sidewalk or in front of your house or where you live and your kids play. If you, well, it's kind of hard to approach, people peddling drugs, because a lot of times, you get targeted to where they got, it's like an old saying to where snitches get stitches. So if you try to get in the way of a drug dealer that has a hierarchy, now you put yourself in a harm's way to where they could try to, just rob your house or get in your house and kill your whole family. So I understand there's a lot of risk. But, it's time to come together and to always just stop judging people. If a lot of people would be more understanding and not be so quick to judge somebody before you get to read the whole book, then you will have a little bit more compassion and sympathy to not put that judgment, because I'm not a thug. I just know how life is, and I know that the world is not always a pretty place. Now for all the people, like I said, that always had a silver spoon in your mouth, you would never know what walking in my shoes would feel like, or you would never know seeing from my eyes what I've seen, to where that's why I act the way I do. So like I said, when you're so used to always having to protect yourself, it come out as hard or thugging, when indeed it's just, you just know to keep your eyes open, just to keep yourself ready for what could happen. Because I'm sure a lot of military people do that. Like, they could have been out the military for 5 years, and they still, like, all you see is them looking around, because they know, especially if they went overseas or they went to war, they definitely never going to stop having that protect and survive mentality. Because once you've been through something, it is hard to just forget about it, or it's hard to change your way of thinking, because this world is like, your eyes got open to where this world is not a pretty place. And for people that think stuff don't stink, you living in a fantasy world. Living in a fantasy world. Like I said, I can always understand why people would think the way they are, because like I said, I always review my content just to make sure I'm not like, I'm even getting to know myself too. So anybody that do YouTube videos, try watching yourself. Because, obviously I network and I talk to a lot of other YouTubers. And one of the things they tell me, especially people that's just getting started, I know I make videos, but I don't like rewatching myself on a video. I have the hardest time to see myself on video. But you'd be surprised over time that when you start watching yourself in a video, you get to know yourself. You get to know yourself, and a lot of times you start to like yourself. You be like, wow, man, I got some serious talent. Or you start to see things about yourself that you never saw. Like, wow, I didn't know I came across that way. Like, man, maybe I could switch it up to do this to improve myself. And what I've noticed from watching myself, I do come off a little, like, thugging a little bit. That's why, y'all don't know, people judge me so much, man. If it ain't from people calling me, I act like a man, I act aggressive, I act dominant, I act thuggish, I act ghetto. But I am intelligent, I am intellectual. Which one am I? But like I said, my opinion of myself, just from over the time of watching how I come across, I do come across in a little thuggish as far as the way I talk, but that's my accent, I can't help that. So I don't want to be fake to where I'm trying to sound like something I'm not. Like, you have a lot of people that's from up north or, that has an accent. They'll try to fit in with the crowd, and I'm not racist, but they'll try to fit in the crowd and they'll try to talk like white, or they'll try to talk more proper, or they'll try to talk in a way to where that's not how you talk, man. Be yourself. Now, like I said, cussing is never a good thing, and if you can talk with proper English or proper grammar, of course that's the way to be. So you always want to read books or learn dictionary or learn new words to have more intellect with yourself. But just be yourself. Stop trying to fit in. That's what I realized. I realized that I will not try to be something I'm not. And I realized that once I love myself and once I'm fine with every flaw, every good, anything about me, then the judgment that people do try to put on me, it really don't matter. But it's just crazy how people are just readily ready to judge. And a lot of times the people that will judge you can't talk. A lot of times people are putting their insecurities on you. They're putting the natural hate that they normally have on you. And they just can't help themselves, because all that negative energy that they have to attach it onto somebody. And it's easy to sit behind a laptop or behind a phone and type some fuckery crap because you behind that phone. But I can guarantee you half the people that you say these judgments to, if you had a chance to say it to their face, most likely you wouldn't. Now, granted, some people do, because you know what, YouTube beef is real, and there are people that met up and handle some stuff. They handle some stuff, like met up and they fought or did whatever. That's dumb. That's childish. That's why I don't respond to it. I ain't got time for it. If you don't like me, so the hell what? Keep it moving. I'll delete you, block you, hide you. I might even leave it up there and be like, really? I might just get sarcastic with you. That's how I handle judgment. Like, okay, well, thank you. I didn't know you felt that way. All right, then. So, all right, guys. I'm just saying, there are some people that has come from the hood, or they come from, just places that's really tough to live in. And they are some just low, dirty mother beeps. It takes real special people to make it out of the hood and to make it out of a rough place and become a beautiful flower, or to become that diamond in the rough. And I'm just grateful that God has blessed my heart not to be a bitter, evil, criminal, just crazy person, despite where I come from. Because I always had a positive attitude to where I wanted more out of life. And I've always had a loving heart to where I've always been a soft, loving person. So that's always been me, no matter, my environment. Because sometimes, people try to say that you become your environment. And sometimes, for the most part, it can rub off on you. But if you know and learn the truth, and you learn to come out of that, you can reprogram your mind to come out of that and be more of where you're from. So, all right, guys, this video is going too long. I hope that this is just a mind opener to just who I am. Like, I'm not a thug. I'm not the hate you gave or the hate you give. I'm me. I'm Pinky. And that's my real name too. I get made fun of so much. I even had people say you should change your name. You know, that's so unprofessional. Dang, wow, who named you that? Well, I love myself. I love myself. I love my name. I love all my imperfections and everything. So, all right, y'all. You know, y'all have a lovely day. Time is the essence. Let's make better time of it. Let's love each other, not judge each other. But you know what, though? That statement, that phrase of let's love each other and not judge each other, it is catching on, because I'm starting to see a lot of you guys throwing I love you out there, and then I give it back. So we're learning. Some of us are learning to love each other. Oh, and I want to say this too. I hope if you made it this far, I would like to say this too. A lot of you guys are truly, now I'm not saying everybody, because obviously there's too many people subscribed on this channel where it's not everybody, but y'all know what's in them comments. A lot of guys are really getting above themselves with just you smiling in my face on the comment section in a sense, but then I'm hearing that people are making real disrespectful videos about me, saying what they think of me, like they trying to say that, oh yeah, she a freak, or oh yeah, oh she this and that, or like just, I guess they really just don't have no respect for me. But once again, I'm not on YouTube for dating. I'm not on YouTube for fucking. I'm not. Now, Grant, I am single. Yes, I am. But I'm just going to keep it 100 with y'all. If I do find the love of my life, it's not going to be from off of YouTube. Like I said, because this, even though, like I said, y'all might call me ghetto, y'all might call me thugging it, but my true only reason here on YouTube is to inspire, teach, to hopefully maybe make you think of something you never thought before just by giving my testimony of my life experience. That's it. So I realized that when guys be throwing, oh, you so sexy, oh, you so gorgeous, when we gonna go out on a date, I tried to ignore it and be nice, and I'll probably throw a like and a heart on it, because I said, okay, well, it is a compliment, so he ain't say nothing wrong. But I was talking to somebody not too long ago, and they said, hey man, why are you throwing hearts and liking people that's talking about you sexy and beautiful? You already know what they thinking. You already know what they thinking. They thinking that, you know, that you just somebody that they can say that to. Because if that was any other real stand-up woman, she would check them and wouldn't even entertain that. And I had to think about it. I said, man, he's right. I said, he's right, you know, because if I'm liking it, throwing hearts on it, and responding to it, you know, they feeling like they can keep throwing that at you. And that, I mean, I didn't think of it like that. So, I mean, because I'm not on here for that. So my mind is not thinking like, oh, okay, dang, he said I'm sexy, so I'm going to see what. No, that's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's totally innocent. But guys going to be guys, especially ignorant perverts. Ignorant perverts going to be who the fuck they are. So you can't change ignorant perverts, or should I say ignorant boys, because a real man ain't about to do nothing like that anyway. So all right, y'all, like I said, if y'all see them kind of videos where people trying to slander my name, talking about, yeah, that bitch, that hoe, oh, she a slut, man. Yeah, she wearing her little spandex while she working out, always showing herself. Well, what happened to other videos where other girls that have higher numbers than me, they wearing just a little tank top sports bra and spandex, but yet y'all don't say nothing to them? I mean, have some respect, man. Have some respect. And I know you can't get it 100%, but like I said, I can at least just bring it to the light. So don't think I don't notice that. I see it all. I just don't entertain it because I don't have time for drama. That's not what I do. I ain't about that. So, all right, y'all. All right, y'all have a lovely day. So, deuces.